Hi, I'm Dr. Copeland's son Justin, and I've obviously been thinking a lot lately about the upcoming superintendent election. But over the past few weeks, more than anything, I find myself reflecting on a couple things. How hard my dad has worked to gain his position, and the countless lives of students he's touched throughout his career. So I wanted to take a minute to share with you a few stories from my perspective. When I was in elementary school, my dad was a teacher and a coach. And I remember getting up at 5 a.m. just so I could go with my dad as he coached basketball before school, and the days of staying after school to stir the big coolers of Gatorade as he coached high school football. Those were very special years. Now, 20-some years later, it's so neat to be walking through a store with him and hear, "Hey, Coach Copeland," only to turn and see one of his former players coming down the aisle. Those former players who are now doctors and financial advisors and business owners and even a school superintendent. They will always have a special bond with Coach Copeland and the things they learned from him. You know, my mom is also a school teacher, and just a couple years ago I remember talking to my parents as they found out that there was a little boy in my mom's third grade class that had no socks or coat. He had to share one pair of pajamas among all of his siblings, and the only meal he got during the day was what the school fed him. And I remember my parents being completely heartbroken. That night I remember talking to my mom and dad as they went to local stores and bought the boy and his siblings and his mom clothes and food. And by the next day my parents had raised so much awareness to those situations among the teachers that they put steps in place to help families such as this one. And most recently, I talked to my dad after one of the recent debates. And he and my mom had went out to eat afterwards and got to talking to their waiter, who told them he was a single dad trying to go back to school so he could give his son a better life. And after talking to my dad invited the waiter to church that Easter Sunday. So the next day I called my dad and asked what he was up to, and he said he was at Walmart putting together an Easter basket for the waiter's son, just in case he brought his little boy to church. So why am I telling you these random stories? Well, it's because I feel these are the stories that no debate or amount of collateral could ever show. These are the real stories that show the true character and compassion of a man. Not to do anything for show, but just out of the true compassion for people. You know, my dad taught me by example what it means to be dedicated and to always give your best. And so when I see that doctor in front of his name, I see the journey that he had to take to get those letters and learn something new and gain new experience along the way. You see, the position of superintendent was never given to my dad. It was something he earned through years of hard work and dedication. He earned the position of superintendent through experience. So on June 3rd, I ask you to please go out and vote for my dad, Dr. David Copeland, for superintendent, because I can tell you firsthand he's the type of person any parent would be proud to have as a role model for their children.